For the first time in this save, we take on the team that we built. First match of this episode will be to take on Mendiola in the PFL Cup third round at home. And the second match of this episode, we will play them away from home in the league. I think last time I saw you guys, we left off with a 4-1 victory over Loyola. We followed that up with a 2-1 victory over 1 Taguig. A really nice win. We probably should have won it by a lot more, but we did miss a few chances. And then we had a pretty respectable 4-2 loss to Kaya. There was a point where we were down 4-0. I think a big reason for that is I started with this formation rather than continuing with the 4-2-4 we normally played. I felt like playing so much of a better team, I needed to go a bit more defensive. But we went with the 4-2-4 in the second half, and we got 2 goals. We were the much better team in the second half. So I think we showed that we can play with the better teams in the league, but we need to do it probably with the more attacking formation rather than sitting back and being defensive. Those matches now have us at 8th place in the PFL. And we're 8th place going into a pretty tough spell. Going back to the schedule here, we take on DHC, Mendiola, and of course we did just lose to Kaya. So we could potentially have like 3 losses in a row potentially as far as the league is concerned. Again, we're playing Mendiola here, who of course are the team that we built. It is the best team in the league. They're now beginning to kind of pull away. And DHC, who are a team with legitimate playoff contention. They are in 5th place right now, and they legitimately could finish in the top 4 positions and make the playoffs. So we're in for a tough run here. Hopefully, we can keep ourselves around this mid-table position. If we finished anywhere between 7th and 10th place at this point, I would consider that to be a really successful season. But of course, this is the first time in this save we are taking on Mendiola, which, if you're new to this save and new to this channel, Mendiola are the team that I previously was doing like a Let's Play series with. And this is me here. This was my manager. This is me. This is the name of the channel. This is Filipino FM. These were my attributes at the end of the save. So I've imported those attributes exactly as they were, and I've imported the squad exactly as they were at the end of last save. So we are very literally taking on the team that we built. Some of the best players on this team are players like Rafael Obermeyer, who is actually, as he is at the beginning of the game, absolutely brilliant. Players like Alvin Santos, the young Filipino defender, who is very, very good for this level. I know that he maybe doesn't look as good if you're used to playing, at the higher ends of European football, but these are fantastic players for this level. Vicente Alonso is another one. So this is a really good team, and this is who we are going up against. Actually, a good representation to show how good they are. This is just the overall stats in the league, just in the Philippines Football League. Jesus Mendoza here, who is a Hall of Famer, a legend of the channel, absolutely brilliant Ecuadorian forward. Yeah, he's got 21 goals in 13 appearances, and at the end of the last save, we had 42 goals from him in just 23 league appearances. He actually might be on schedule to break that 42 goal record that he has. Luis Miguel Pradas is a wonder kid. He's got 12 goals in 13 matches. Vicente Alonso has 11 and 13. Yeah, this team's really good. Looking at the player overview for the Philippines Football League, Mendoza and Pradas lead the top goal scorers in the league, with Vicente Alonso tied for 3rd. Looking at most assists, surprisingly, no, I don't see any Mendiola players in the most assists. That's genuinely very surprising. A couple in the player of the match. Obviously, Jesus Mendoza has the most shots. David Seed, the Mendiola goalkeeper, unsurprisingly, he has the most shutouts in the league. And looking at the team overview, Mendiola have the most points per game. They have the most goals by a lot. A significant amount. The highest amount of possession, fewest shots against, most shots for, most dribbles, fewest conceded, and most shutouts. We built this team from the Philippines over the course of 7 seasons and got them to an Asian Champions League final. So yeah, they are absolutely the best team in the league. I'm actually curious to see how Mendiola are doing this season under Filipino FM's leadership. There is new continental competitions in Asia. I haven't really talked about that much, but now there's an AFC Champions League Elite, a Champions League 2, and then a Challenge League. So with the Philippines' reputation and like the number of points they've gotten across continental competition, they are now in Champions League 2, which is kind of like the Europa League. So, but there's a lot less teams in the Champions League, so the Champions League 2 is very, very competitive in Asia. So it seems like they're in group stages of the Champions League 2, and they have qualified for the next round with 3 wins, a draw, and a loss. Looks like they drew Shanghai Port. They're from the Chinese Super League, and they lost to Shanghai Port. So it looks like they'll finish second place in the group, but otherwise, I still can't believe we addressed this earlier. They've got one loss in the league, which is insane to me. Home to United City, that's such a poor loss. But yeah, they've been winning. I mean, 7-0, 5-0, 4-0, 5-2, 6-1. Looking at this schedule, I think our hope here, as long as we don't get blown out by Mendiola today, I mean, there's a significant drop in quality between us and them. As long as we don't get blown out, if we don't lose by more than like 5 goals, I think we would take that. And with that in mind, we are playing them in the PFL Cup third round. And as I mentioned in this Kaya match here, we went down 4-0 playing a 5-3-2. And then we did much better in the second half playing that 4-2-4. We're in a cup match here, PFL Cup third round. I don't see the point in not going for it. We're obviously playing a team significantly better than us, but I want to go for it. So we're going out with the 4-2-4. We're going mano y mano with the team that we built. We're going up against those guys, going man to man, 4-2-4. We are taking them on in the same tactic that they're playing. And you know what? We're going to see how we do. This is the first time we're playing them in this save, and that is where we want to go as part of this Build a Nation series. This is really going to be like, we're going to look back on this, hopefully at the end of the save, and be like, wow, we've really improved since we probably got battered by Mendiola. But that being said, we're going out with the 4-2-4. This is going to be the starting lineup. It's pretty much the same starting lineup that you've seen for most of the season. The only news is we do have Giovanni Montalbano coming in. And the reason for that is because Jay Soberano is currently injured. I think he'll be here for the second match, but he's not going to be here for this one. So this is the team. We're going man-to-man, 4-2-4, positive tactic. We're going to try and take the game to Mendiola. And you never know. You never know what could happen. We could win, or we could also get battered. But this should be fun. Taking on the team that we built. I've never done this before in Football Manager, so I'm really excited for this. I will see you all in match. We are going up against our old selves, but it is a very familiar starting lineup. Jongin, Santos, Atangana, Tobias Jefferson, Leonardo starting at left back, and GA, interestingly, youngster Nicholas Bedia getting a start, probably since it's a cup match. Then Alonso, Pradas, Mendoza, and Bayan. Big names on the bench too. Players like Ugelvic, Barak, David, Bustomi. Yeah, we are going up against a big team. Everyone expects us to lose. No pressure on our guys. And Mendiola gets us underway. Jesus Mendoza getting things started. And could we have the first opportunity here? We are not even 10 minutes into the match. This is the first highlight. It falls to Cobon. David Garcia, Leo Braga. We got a shot. We got to take that. GA standing over it for them. It is going to go out for a corner. The issue for us here is their players are a lot more athletic than ours are. Prada swings it in, looks for Jefferson. Looks like it's going to be another corner here and go, fortunately winning it over Jefferson. But they've got some big men in there. Prada swings it in, it's again, finds Mendoza over the bar. And Mendiola really starting to grow into the match now. They're getting all the opportunities. It finds Vicente Alonso, Gil Badia with an absolutely phenomenal save. But another corner for them. Luis Miguel Pradas to stick it in. Near post. Another save. Alvin Santos. We got to get a tackle in here, boys. NGA finds Bayon. Oh, it's going to go through here. Finds Vicente Alonso. What a tackle by and go. Still finds Santos here. Bayon. What a block. Brought us edge of the box. We're getting away. The fact that it's still 0-0 is amazing. We have a throw here. Can we actually get an opportunity this time? Goes into Cheng. To Braga. We might. Oh, why are we going backwards? Turn and shoot. Braga, what are you doing, man? Turn and shoot. You're in a great like you're almost inside the 6. I mean, just any shot on goal there has a chance, and they're going to get the opportunity now. Mendoza here. He shoots. Padilla probably should have held that. I mean, Mendiola probably should be winning at this point. They've definitely had the chances, but some good defending, some good last-ditch blocks on our part, keeping us in it. As Giovanni Montalbano will go around the right-hand side here. He cuts it back to Pabellona. Edge of the box to Cubon. Maybe taking a touch there would have been helpful. Pabellona once again to stick it in. Can we find and go? We cannot. Montalbano, you got to be stronger there. And this is probably where they're going to score. They've got the numbers. Luis Miguel Prada's taking it all the way himself. Crossing it into the back post. Montalbano was not quick enough or strong enough. He loses the ball. And Mendiola breaks forward. They have broken our resistance. But Mendiola looking to work it out of the back now. See if we can get a little bit of pressure on them at least. Be nice if Cheng was standing there rather than marking someone 20 yards away. Finds Vicente Alonso. They've got numbers moving forward. Finds Frederick Carboni. Why did you just play it out there? Could have kicked it out into touch. Cheng, we're just not physically adept enough to be able to win these balls. Goes out wide to Santos. He's going to cross it in. It took 40 minutes for them to score, and we did great for 40 minutes, but ultimately Mendiola's quality, yeah, it's shining through now. Well, halftime, it's only 2-0. Honestly, we played really well. Given the difference in quality, I think we played really well in that first half. It's unfortunate we're down 2-0, but honestly, I kind of want to tell them they're doing well. Just keep working hard. We're not expecting to win this match. We're expecting to get blown out. The fact that it's only 2-0 is a real testament to this side and how well they're playing at the moment. Well, first chance of the second half here goes in the 65th minute to Mendiola. As Regalo with a nice tackle, he's just come on, falls to Nicolas Badia, Vicente Alonso, over the bar. Well, we are into the 75th minute. Not a whole lot of highlights here in the second half, as Abibi scores. I spoke a little too soon in saying there weren't that many highlights in the second half, as Mendiola makes it 3-0. It seems like we might have a chance here. Mendoza to swing it in. He looks for and go! That was our first chance in a while, just over. And looks like we could have another chance here off of a corner. Mendoza to swing it in once again. Can we find the tall man and go, and goes over the bar. This is not a terrible result, all things considered. We did create some chances, but Mendiola is obviously the better side. But to be going up against a team with NGA, Alonso, Luis Miguel Pradas, Alvin Santos, Mendoza, and Bayon, we kept quiet up top. As far as this first match of the episode is concerned, I'm proud of how this team did. All right, after that loss to Mendiola in the PFL Cup third round, which wasn't a bad loss, I did move forward and play DHC so that now we're before our Mendiola match in the Philippines Football League. We unfortunately got a 3-2 loss to DHC, but I kind of think we should have won it. It was a pretty even game, but we had the better XG chances, but we just have a lot of trouble finishing. But we created one more XG than they did. We're not very good defensively. We're not very good attacking, but I think we're showing here we have a system that works. We'll continue with it. Sometimes we'll win, sometimes we'll lose, but that's just the reality of being a not very good team. But again, I have moved forward now to the second match of the day. We are away to Mendiola. Last match was at home. This one is away. I think an away match is going to be significantly more difficult than a home cup match. But that being said, I'm going to get right into things, and I'm playing this a little bit more conservatively. You see a lot of players here who are on yellows, and we're going through a rough patch here. You guys can see, like, Mendiola are better than this. We're not going to win this game. I mean, there's hope. There's always hope, but we're probably not going to win this match. And I really want to be thinking more like 4 losses in a row is going to be tough, which means this match against Gorella United to get the team back into winning form with a winnable match. This one is going to be the important match that we need to win. So looking at our tactics here, I have a number of really good players who would normally start who are 1 match away from suspension. Jaime Rosquillo, Ariel Ngo, who is that player with awesome jumping reach. So these players in the back line, and then Christopher Reyes, who we have on loan from Mendiola, of course, is not playing as well. The other thing is we've got players like Cobon here who are 1 match away from yellow card suspension, and Jay Soberano. So a lot of players who are really key to the first team squad. I'm choosing to sit out because I think that match, winning that match against Gorella United, is the match that I need to be focusing on. So for that reason here, you don't see a whole lot of stars. The only people who are really playing is maybe Porteria, Regala, and Pavolona here, who could potentially be suspended. So we still got some players in who I think could do well and who are a part of our regular first team squad. But we're also sitting a bunch of players because I think I need to prioritize future matches to get us out of this. It's not really a slump because we've played really good teams, but we are on a 3 match losing streak, likely to be a 4 match losing streak now. I just want to make sure we get out of that in the next episode. The only player you might not recognize in the starting lineup is a new signing, Carlos Vitriolo. We have signed him on a free from Air Force. He actually scored in that DHC match, was really good. But I think he's an all right striker. I think finishing 12 and pace 12, he adds a little bit of dynamism. I think the fact that we play so high up, he's a player that can hopefully make runs in behind. His off the ball is 3, which I'm worried with, but we've only signed him to a 1-year contract, so if it doesn't work out, he'll just end up leaving on a free at the end of the season. But all right, this is the team. Second match against Mendiola. Let's see how we do. All right, it looks like we're facing a very similar team to the one we played in the Cup. I'm surprised that Badia is playing them so much. They don't have like Yannick David or somebody else playing in that central position there. But we are once again going up a great team. Should we tell them revenge? We'll tell them revenge. Maybe that'll inspire some of our players. Mendiola gets us underway once again. Jesus Mendoza kicking it off. We'll see how we can do here. This is going to be tough now. We're away from home. If we get a similar result, I will be absolutely delighted with that. And GA with the early opportunity. That's a really good free kick. Wow, I don't know if that was saved or if that was off the bar. But we are fortunate not to allow anything there. Cheng with a great tackle. And it is all Mendiola. 3 minutes in, they're the only ones with highlights. Vicente Alonso, well cleared by David Garcia, but it's going to be this all day. Just Mendiola. Attack, attack, attack. This reminds me of when we were playing with Mendiola, and we'd go long, nothing would be there. Miguel Pradas. He's going to score. What a save by Badia. That is a phenomenal save. They will get a corner from it, but that is a brilliant save from our goalkeeper. Well done, Casambre. Great defending. Well done, Badia. Badia's having a decent game so far. But they are definitely looking to high press here. I think I'm going to need to take off. We're generally playing out of the back because that's how we want to play, but I think we just need to get the lines forward at this point. As we lose the ball, Alonso going in here. What a goal. What a goal. And GA, Badia, he shoots. Regala clears it. Man, the highlight's still continuing. It's like a training session. It's just like a defense versus attack training session. Santos going around the line. Man, this is gonna be a long game. This is gonna be a long game. We had some hope in the cup match, but Mendiola has kind of squashed that. I have made a first half substitution as they look back post. Santos, what a save! Santos keeps it in. Well done, Regala. I have made a formation change and a first half sub, so I'll pause it really quick here so you guys can see. So we're going from the 4-2-4 to kind of a 4-4-1-1. Tried to get us a little extra solidity in the midfield by giving us some extra numbers here. Casombre out wide to Talarok. We got the numbers in there. We don't quite have the quality at this point to string those passes together, it seems like. We'll continue to try to high press, but man, just not winning it. I mean, Mendiola are a good side. This is kind of what you expect as Mendoza's in. That's a great save from Padilla. He is having a wonderful match today. Some absolutely brilliant saves. Santos to swing it in for them. They actually go short. Something I never... Haha, look at us go. What great defending. Every time we start a highlight, we just can't seem to keep the ball. And, I mean, Mendiola are a good side. They're technically a lot better than us, physically a lot better than us. So even when they go long, like, ooh, we won that one. All right, here we go. Can we get a chance to take the shot, honestly? We got a shot. We got a shot off. I think that's the first shot of the day. Honestly, 2-0 at halftime, we would take that result. We're not playing, I mean, we're not playing very well. And we'll get things started for the second half. I told the boys I want us to do better. Let's see if we can improve our second half performance here. We have moved past the 60th minute and there have been no highlights so far in the second half. And honestly, I'm not mad about that. If we can keep going here, if it is just a boring second half or not much happens, I will not be mad about that. But we do have a highlight here. Looks like it's going to go for Mendiola. Can we win it? Ugalvic looks like he's come on for them. That's a great ball to Vicente Alonso. That's a wonderful ball. He plays it back to Ngie, to Badia. Oh. Penalty. Man. We've been having a good second half so far. That's just soft to give away. Prada steps up. Prada scores. That is a soft one to give away. Well, we are into added time. That penalty was literally the only highlight of the second half. We did not get battered as hard as I thought we might, as we nearly score right at the end. But that is it. A 3-0 victory for Mendiola. Again, a 3-0 loss to Mendiola is not bad, all things considered. I will absolutely take that. That is not the worst result in the world. Again, I'm proud of the boys' efforts. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It's not bad. Like, we've actually done well in these two matches. I think to have lost 3-0 in back-to-back matches against Mendiel, I'm not unhappy with that. I feel like we've done well. I feel like we've played them really well. To only lose 3-0 away from home, I really feel like we've done all right here. It hasn't taken a huge hit to our goal difference. It could have been a lot worse. I'm actually really happy with how we've done in this episode. Also, got to say, we've had some really good press conferences, interactions with my former self. Um, Filipino FM said, "Hey, we're doing well." Like, I don't know if you guys can see that down here. Absolutely, David is showing that you don't need to spend a lot of money to take a team to the next level. So, hey, the Mendiola coach is happy with how we're doing. Gave us some kind words. I did say that I was hoping to keep the good times rolling, and I appreciated those good interactions. And then apparently there were no mind games. They're still impressed with us. So it's sort of weird to be having press conferences, interactions with my former self, but it's kind of nice that they're amicable and friendly. I am curious at this point. I wonder if I can get Filipino FM into the best opinion relationships here. I'll just be super nice to myself, and maybe I can get myself into my own best opinion. It was like a weird football manager inception thing. But anyways, we are now halfway through the season. There are 30 matches in the PFL season. We have played every single team once. And halfway through the season, we are in 8th place, and we're actually looking good for a mid-table finish. I'm pretty happy with how we've done. We've got 7 wins, 2 draws, and 6 losses, -3 on the goal differential. But honestly, this is a much better position that I expected to be in halfway through the season. Looking at the club vision, the board is really happy. If we can obtain a mid-table finish, I think we're going to be delighted with that. I don't think we have enough. We've shown in the past few games, we don't have enough to push for a championship playoff spot. But I think we're much better than finishing kind of lower mid-table. So I think, again, as I said at the beginning of the episode, if we finish anywhere between 7th and 10th, I think we'll have done really, really well this season. And of course, as we're seeing now too, Mendiola are absolutely running away with the league. But finishing in first doesn't mean you win the league. Finishing in first just means you're the highest seed for the championship playoffs. I would expect them to win the championship playoffs, but they did lose to United City earlier in the season. So we'll definitely keep track of the title race, keep track of how Mendiola is doing. It was fun to see those players again, come up against some of those players. But for the rest of the season, the focus will be back on our team, Manila Monte, and building up our team to where we can actually start to make a difference in building up the Philippines and this Build a Nation save. As far as what's coming next, we are out of the cup, so there won't be any more cup games. So we'll just be filling out the rest of these Philippines Football League fixtures. I don't really know where we'll come back next, but I guess I'll just play through as much as I can until I need to film for the release of the next episode, and we'll see where we go from there. But one thing to look forward to, if you did miss Mendiola, if you did miss seeing those players, we will, of course, be back for the last match of the season, and we'll be playing Mendiola for sure in the final match of the year. But that is everything I've got for this episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed that little blast from the past to play against Mendiola again. This is definitely the benchmark. They are the benchmark. They are where we want to get to. That's the level we want to be at so we can make a difference towards building up the Philippines in this Build a Nation save. That's where we've got to go. It took us 7 seasons previously. Hopefully we can do it a little bit quicker now. But currently, we're moving forward. We're along the right path. We haven't played super poorly against Mendiola. So I think we're moving in the right direction. I hope you all are doing well. I hope you all are taking care of yourselves, and I will see you all in the next episode. Bye.